Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Prater podcast, where our aim is to connect our global family of churches to our executive director. Mark, here we are 3 weeks in to this pandemic and the social distancing and shelter in place orders that are pretty much all over the place. And so you referenced it a little bit, I think, last time on the podcast, but there's this reality where pastors are not able to be with folks in the church. And so even if there's someone in the hospital, in many cases, we can't go visit them. It's disorienting. There's questions about how to pursue faithfulness when you can't be with people. And I know guys are trying all sorts of things. But what are your thoughts about pastoring folks in this season where we are told we shouldn't be with people when it's sort of the whole reason we're doing this job?
Right. Yeah, it's a great question. As I mentioned last time, I think just the fact that guys are feeling pained by that, they're feeling burdened by that, I think just really confirms that they're called as a shepherd to pastor the flock that God has given them.
Yeah.
So I hope that alone encourages them. But I also think that right now, most of our guys, most of our pastors are going to feel inadequate. Regardless of what they do, because they don't really feel adequate till they can sit and be with their people. And I think those feelings of inadequacy are more in our pastors' minds than in our members' minds, their members' minds. I think that just the fact that you're finding creative ways or attempting to find ways to care for your people and interact with the people in your church communicates more care than what you might realize. In fact, I think you were telling me just earlier that you had a member say something like that to you. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen just a whole host of Sovereign Grace pastors creating podcasts and devotional videos. And you can definitely see it as the pastor's heart to bless and serve their folks, during the season. We've done a little bit of that. I have my own podcast, Gospel Culture Podcast, and done some video things and stuff. And even just those little points that it feels inadequate, but you're just trying to serve your folks and encourage them and getting people responding, expressing they feel cared for. You're thinking about us. You want to help us. And they feel that care coming through what feels rather inadequate, which is a video recording or something like that.
Yeah, I think when pastors feel that inadequacy, and I think most of us are going to, we have to remember that the grace of God that we preach to our church is actually the grace of God we need for ourselves. And I'd want guys to be aware of the grace of God and to experience the grace of God in the midst of inadequate feelings that they might be having.
Yeah, you can definitely imagine, I would guess there are some of our guys that are in smaller churches are watching perhaps all of the activity and the streamlined media presentations and responses in the community. And they're just trying to figure out how to stream on their iPhone on Facebook Live on Sunday. So I think that's well said. We certainly want our guys to feel God's pleasure, even in efforts that feel inadequate as we seek to be faithful. So what are some practical ideas that you've seen or you've been thinking about when it comes to pastoring people from our computers and over the phone and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think, it's just learning how to do pastoral ministry in a different way. I don't think I've got any brand new creative ideas, but you can FaceTime with a person in your church who may be hospitalized. And just the fact that they can not only hear your voice, but see your face can be very comforting. I think another idea is you just get your iPhone and you just record a video personally for them, letting them know you're praying for them, and share whatever thoughts you may have. And it could be short. It could be 2 minutes long tops, and you can text it to them.
By the way, all of the anti-Apple bros in Sovereign Grace, you can use other kinds of phones other than iPhones, right, Mark?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But things like that, I think, the podcast you're doing, a guy can do a podcast. I think whatever devotionals you're creating and getting out to your church are really good. And then just your ability to be able to continue to do pastoral counseling over the phone or via Zoom may feel inadequate, but it doesn't to your people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we coming up on Friday, tomorrow, so I don't know when this video will air, but on April 3rd, you've encouraged us to pray together for healthcare workers, and even just doing things like reaching out to all of the healthcare workers in your church and making a personal connection, asking, how can we pray for you specifically? How are you doing? That sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I know that Ricky Alcantar's church, Cross of Grace Church in El Paso, Texas, prayed during their live stream service last Sunday, prayed for all of the healthcare workers in their church. And Joe Alcantar was telling me it was just very meaningful to them.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Any other thoughts for us before we end?
I just think our guys again are doing a great job.
Yeah.
I think they are finding ways to pastor people
when
they can't be with them. And what I'm seeing actually is sort of this pent up, I can't wait till we come back together type of emotion that's building up in our guys. And I would just love to, if I could be in all of our churches that first Sunday we gather, I think the place is going to explode. Actually, it's just going to be so much fun. So I'm really grateful for that, and I can't wait for our guys to be with our people and enjoy that.
Amen. I think that one thing God could be doing in us as pastors in this season is giving us a moment to pause, even though it's difficult, to rest, to study, to fellowship with the Lord, as the anticipation builds to be with our church. So coming out of this season and the next season, there will be this enthusiasm, passion, zeal that I think is going to push the mission of Jesus forward.
Amen. May that happen.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mark. And thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, Mark would love to hear from you. For more videos like this, hit subscribe on YouTube or by email at markkprater.com.